Hey there, it's Wong with Hand Therapy Secrets. Welcome to my show. Today I'm going to be showcasing Kara. She is an occupational therapist and she has her own business. She has her own mobile occupational therapy business as well as a consulting business where she helps other occupational therapists venture out on their own and become entrepreneurs just like her. So I hope you're going to enjoy this show. She's going to share real tips and things that she's done, within her own business so that you can get started if you're just even thinking about starting your own business.
Hey, my name is Huang. Welcome to the Huang Show, and I wanted to introduce Kara. And she is an occupational therapist with how many businesses? Two businesses?
Yeah, three technically as of after this week.
So. Multi-business occupational therapy, multi-business owner. And one of the purposes that I want to provide for the viewers of the show is really to show that occupational therapists can own businesses, how they can do this. And I myself have a clinic. I'm shooting here in my clinic right now. And then of course I have Hand Therapy Secrets, who we are online to help occupational therapists develop their skills and grow their confidence in hand therapy. So thank you so much for coming on my show. It's so great to meet you finally. I know we've been like Facebook friends, heard of each other, kind of running in some similar circles. But so wonderful to finally meet you and have you on my show and share some of the things that you're doing for the occupational therapy community here. So introduce yourself to everybody.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me on the show. And very impressed with all you have been doing and are doing. That's awesome. And yes, OTs, we need to break free of traditional occupational therapy, that we are working for someone in outpatient clinics, nursing homes, hospitals, home health, and start thinking about how you are going to be working for yourself and getting into entrepreneurship. So totally love what you're doing and that you want to help people explore that option. So again, like you said, my name's Kara. I have been an occupational therapist for 20 years, and I started my own business a few years ago where I see older adults in the home. So I have a mobile practice and I bill Medicare Part B, and then I do private pay as well. So that's my OT keeping. I love working with my geriatric clients, and yeah, it's just, I love that. Independent contractors and so forth that work with me through that. And then I also have Next Level Occupational Therapy. So that is a platform. If you're not on it, just please come join our free Facebook group. It's Next Level Occupational Therapy, and just check it out. It's just, we try to keep a positive, upbeat group, and our goal is to help occupational therapy professionals level up in your career, whether that be starting a side gig, starting your own business, or creating new projects, or however we can help you level up wherever you're at. And through that Next Level OT, we have different programs. So we have our free Facebook group, which is obviously for everyone. We have a visionary membership group where it's $278 for the entire year. And I always say you get that value in 1 month. We have ongoing trainings that we provide within that group, and then a variety of discounts that our members get. And then we have different programs, and probably our biggest program is our Therapy Business Builder program, where we help healthcare professionals, not just OTs, but we help OTs, PTs, and speech therapists start their own business. And it's not a program where you get all this information and you have to go figure it out. We actually help you through every step of the way. And why we created that is there's literally not much information, if at all, on how to start your OT business. When I started my business, it was very frustrating. I tried seeking out to AOTA. I was on multiple Facebook groups. I tried to figure this out on my own, and it was a struggle. I made lots of mistakes along the way. And then come last fall, when so many therapists were getting laid off with the changes in Medicare and skilled nursing facility and so forth, I talked to some colleagues of mine, and I'm like, we need to form this business and help other OTs do what we do, because now we know what to do. I mean, we've went through and made all the mistakes, and we know how to not make those mistakes.
You're gonna make all the mistakes for everybody.
Yeah, and we can help people do this. So our program, we actually help people get their business established. We get them credentialed with insurance. We teach them the marketing. We do their website, their logo, all of that kind of stuff is all in one package for our therapy business builder program.
So do you teach what they should do, or do you do some of it?
So we do a good chunk of it for them, but then we teach them how to do a lot of it. But like we have an attorney that's part of our attorney accountant that are part of our team, and they get the businesses established within the state, depending on the state and the rules and regulations, whether it's an LLC or a PLLC or S Corp or things like that.
Yeah. There's always those questions, right? Like, how should I do it? And okay, awesome.
And same thing with insurance. Like with Medicare, or a lot of people are really scared of insurance. So we go ahead and take care of all the credentialing, but then we provide the education to how to bill and what you need to do. And then we're there. I mean, it's not a one program and you're out. You know, you're with us for life. So you have that support, you have the access to upcoming trainings and things like that. The marketing piece, we obviously need to teach you what you need to do. We do create your logo, the website, the business cards, things like that as well. So yeah, it's it's like a business in a box.
That's pretty nice. I had no idea. Well, I know you had a ton of information, and what I'm going to do for everyone who's curious about it is I'm going to leave your links and stuff like that in the comment, like in the description below, so they have a easy way of finding you, and like your Facebook group and stuff like that. I think I'm in it.
Yep.
And I try to contribute every once in a while. I try not to play on Facebook too much.
I know it can get
really hard. It's really hard because I'm in a couple of different groups now. So let me ask you, because of your therapy business treating geriatrics in the home, I get a lot of OTs that come to me because they want to really learn and really specialize in hand and upper extremity injuries. And they also want to work with older people, right? So I always describe hand therapy as, it doesn't have to be flexor tendons or, you know, fractures and just the fingers. It's people with 2 arms and 2 hands if you're lucky.
Right.
So do you find that the people who are in your group that reach out to you, that work with the geriatric population, if they have that need of not necessarily specializing in becoming a certified hand therapist, needing that extra knowledge from a skills component, so that when they do get patients that come into them, they can actually keep those patients because they're providing outcomes, right?
Right. Yeah. No, I think, I mean, with my older adult population, you know, arthritis is huge in their hands, whether it be osteo, rheumatoid arthritis, lots of trigger finger. You know, I've had ones with like amputations and things like that, but neuropathy is a huge one. But I mean, I have a couple of clients on caseload right now that are constantly complaining about their hands and their function in their hands and so forth.
And the people, the OTs that reach out to you, that want to come to you, not just for the business part, so any therapist versus just geriatric versus just home, who else do you kind of reach out to in terms of the OT community?
So with our, I mean, we have everyone from pediatrics to geriatrics, from hand therapy to dementia, neuro, all sorts of different people come in and start their businesses with us. We have some that are doing cash-based, some that are doing insurance, so it just varies. We have lots of different hand therapy professionals in our community. We haven't started a business specifically for someone with hand therapy in our therapy business builder program, but yeah, we kind of cover the whole gamut of
Oh, but
things
that's
within our
great.
program.
You know, yeah, that's great.
I have a question for you, just kind of
Yeah.
off topic. Are there any, because I know I know a lot of hand therapists that obviously have their outpatient clinic, and then I know some that do telehealth, and then some that do a combination of both. Do you know any mobile hand therapists?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And
I
do they do a combination, or are they all mobile hand therapists, or how does that work?
Will be mostly all mobile.
Okay.
They'll either be cash or Medicare. So
Okay.
depending on their patient population they treat, or maybe like where they live, then they'll decide whether to go with insurance or go with cash. You know,
Okay.
usually private insurance like Cigna's and Blue, their reimbursement rates are so low that it really doesn't cover any kind of mobile types of services.
Right, right.
But usually the decision to be mobile is in the flexibility, and also in the not committing to a long-term lease. I mean, the shortest
Right. Yeah. The expense
was
savings.
it's the expense saving. But I was just talking to someone in terms of a business and how they should get started, and was that she wanted to start mobile first, just because she wanted to try it out and see how it goes, right? And I told her, one of the things that I told her from a business standpoint is you really need to not just have a plan, because I started my business 7 years ago, very similar to you. I've been a therapist for 20 years. I feel like, we're kind of in the same path
Mm-hmm.
in different specialties, essentially. And I did the same thing. How to S Corp, LLC? Like, how do I do this? Who do I talk to? And do I do insurance? Do I not do insurance? So you sort of fumble around. And I think back then there was less information
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I can't imagine.
that was freely available, right? That was so available the way it is now. People used to start their business and used to tell you certain things, but you could only see it from afar. And people weren't really willing to share what they did.
Right.
I don't know if you felt that way. I certainly did. But nowadays, I think there's a lot of opportunity to consider it. I don't think that this going out on your own is for everybody.
Right. Yep.
It's if you think about it, it's a small few, but you've got to get really clear on what you want. And that's pretty much what I told her. What do you want? Have a plan, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, something like that. However you want to break it up, some kind of plan of where you want to go. Because starting something and just seeing where it goes is not necessarily going to help you get real firm in terms of your growth and what do you, the outcomes, right? The outcomes
Right. Yeah.
you're looking for. But yeah, I don't know if I answered your question.
No, but that's interesting. Well, I just think if you can start mobile, you just save so much in expenses with not having to worry about the office space and equipment, and there's so much you can do in the home. So it is nice. And everyone in our therapy business builder program, we have over 35 in our therapy business builder program currently, and then we have another 10, 15 people in a home safety and modification program that we have.
Okay.
And all of those therapists combined are, starting mobile because it's just so much more feasible to start.
You say yes to one thing and you're saying no to something else.
Yep.
That's all it is. You say yes to mobile, so you save on money, but what I say is you're sacrificing time.
Right. Yep.
So you say yes, so you save the rent and you save that quote unquote commitment, but you're losing time because it takes time to move from one place to the next place. And of course, again, it depends on where you live.
Right.
I live in a really big city. Traffic is crazy. I could not imagine being mobile unless I charged twice.
A ton.
And I charge a lot already.
Right.
I am not a race to the bottom. Let me be the cheapest therapist. Let me see, 4 people at a time. Like, that's not the kind of business that I run. I mean, you can run however, whatever business you want. There's no judgment on me. It's just, I decided, well, what kind of business does my business need to look like? And then I set it up that way. And when I started, I was okay with making a commitment to a space.
Yep.
And I committed to a very small space, actually committed to a 300 square foot space in a older building. So I had no idea they classified buildings A, B, and C and whatever. So I was in a small older building, and it was cheap, but it was really nice on the inside. I was able to set it up exactly how I wanted to set up. And I'm like, who else is going to be? I don't need like this huge space. It's just me, because the idea was I was just going to do it myself. And 7 years later, I have staff.
That's so awesome.
And
Well,
my space is much bigger.
Yeah, but that's a good point. Like for me, I live in rural North Dakota, so
Oh,
for
girl.
me to go see clients, it's nothing
So
to
easy,
it.
right? Yeah.
And you don't even have to buy space. I mean, some people like lease or in a like sublet, or they go to fitness gyms and get a room, or other type chiropractors and rent an office, or there's people that have where they don't have the huge financial commitments. So like you said, your small office, there's lots of possibilities out there, but you brought up such a good point. You have to think about, is a mobile practice right for you where you're at? Because you have to travel a long ways. If you have a lot of traffic, probably not.
Yeah. It's just like, where do you see yourself in a year? And I think that right now, a lot of people are doing certain opportunities on the side because of COVID and their inability to get hours from their employers.
Right.
So my message to people is really, at the end of the day, make yourself so valuable, right? So at the end of the day, marketing is marketing, right? Marketing your business, you have to market yourself, right?
Right.
So what do you need to do for yourself to make yourself so valuable that everyone's going to want you, right? Whether it's you decide to be an employee somewhere and you make yourself so valuable that no matter what's going on in the world, they're going to pick you first, right?
Now, and that's huge. Yep.
All right. So I talk a lot skills, because a lot of therapists, you know, in the OT realm, and I get a lot of people in rural areas and work in geriatric populations. They want to be able to help their geriatric patients better. Those people, you know, just because you're older doesn't mean you shouldn't live without pain. Doesn't mean you don't deserve to move better and move more freely and be more active, you know. So they come to me for that particular purpose. And at the end of the day, it's all marketing. I mean, I don't talk about that, but it's marketing. So from a business standpoint, when you talk to your students, share with this audience, what is your number one key thing when it comes to something marketing? Share your secret. Kara.
Oh, my biggest thing is you have to provide value to people. You have to serve people and provide value. You don't just go out and send flyers or just run ads or anything like that. That's not going to do anything for you. You need to get out, meet people, develop relationships, get them to trust you, show them why. Just like you said, I mean, I wrote this down because that's what we talk about all the time. It's, you need to show how valuable you are. And how are you going to do that? You need to serve people and do things for people. You can't just go out and ask people to send you clients when they don't even know you, trust you, or anything like that. So that's probably my number one thing. How are you going to serve people and provide massive value to people?
Cool, very good. Awesome. So thank you so much. Do you have any questions? I wanted to share anything else that you wanted to share with the listener. I think that you had a ton of stuff to share in terms of how do you get started and all the value that you're providing for the people who are really looking for this information. You know?
Yeah, I just think you really need to think about what you want for yourself and figure out how to get over the fears that's holding you back. Because we hear all the time, well, people are scared of this, or they're worried about this, or they're going to wait 10 years and then they're going to do it. Well, if you really want to own and have your own business, you need to start it now. Don't wait
Yeah.
10 years from now, even a year from now. If your true passion is to start your own business, think about starting it now, even if it's a side gig, and then building it up. Yeah.
Let me ask you something. Since you said that, it triggered a thought. Because you have children. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I have children. What do you say to moms that, that are OTs that want to start their own business? Because I had this exact issue when I was starting a family, and it doesn't matter whether you're, starting a family, in the middle of the family, your kids are older. I mean, maybe, I don't know, share your story, because I can share mine, but.
As far as like moms that want to start businesses or.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's what needs to be, because I can't afford going to work and working for someone else and not being able to go to all my kids' events. I don't want to miss holidays. I don't want to miss weekends and so forth. So my son just came home with his baseball schedule last week, and all of a sudden, like next week, there's 1, 2,
they're playing games?
4 baseball games.
Wait, are they allowed to have an audience?
And I'm not gonna miss any of those games because I own my own business. I set my own hours, and I can make sure that I get to all of my kids' stuff. If you work for someone else, that's so hard to do. I mean, my daughters and sons have people that their families or parents are never at their games, and it just breaks my heart. And they grow up way too quick. So if you want to be able to spend time with your family and get to all of their events, I personally feel the best way to do that is when you have your own business. You can set your time, and that doesn't mean it's easy. I mean, I might be working late at night, or I might be working another time, but you know what? I don't miss their events. So
I like the idea of that. People do get that idea that you do it for your family, you don't miss any events and stuff like that. But that is not to say that you are not working.
Oh yeah, all the time.
All the time.
I still might be on the phone at the event, or I might be listening or having a conference call when I'm driving to an event, but I'm still at the events. So
yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I find that I work a lot more now than I ever did working for someone else.
Right. But you're working for your own business. You're not building someone else's business.
Right. And there's a space for both of them, but it's where do you find your fulfillment? Where do you find your joy? Right.
Right.
So I did find my joy working for someone else for a long time. And I was perfectly okay with that for a long time. In my mind, I had plans and dreams of owning my own business, of how I want to do certain things, certain ways and stuff like that. And then my son was like a year and a half, and then I was thinking about it, I was planning it, and then I got pregnant with my daughter, and then I had to make a decision about, do I go out now? I will tell you that I decided not to at that time, because to me it was really important. Like, I'm married, I have kids, and one thing that I wasn't going to sacrifice was my marriage, right?
Mm-hmm.
I really had to think that through. I had to really have the support of the husband to say, like, yes, let's do it, because when I got started, they want my money, and I was like, babe, I need your money. So there is a certain thing where it's, if you are in a relationship and you have certain people in your life, that it's so helpful and so important to have that kind of support.
Oh, it's huge.
I did put off starting a business because I decided for me that at that time, I wasn't going to sacrifice the time with my kids when they were little. And planned in a certain way to continue to gather my skills, improve all my specialties and that type of stuff, so that when I came out to going out on my own, I had certain things already in my pocket and I could get going. And now, now my kids are older and they don't really want to hang out with me. Right? They're like, I'm like, hey, I don't know, Mom. I'm like, okay, well, if you're gonna do that, then I'll just get on my computer and watch this thing or do something else.
Right.
We'll be right next to each other, but yeah, it's kind of like that when they get a little bit older. I have like teenagers or teenager and one preteen that feels like she's trying to be an adult.
Yeah, I have 17, almost 16, and 13. So
Wow. Oh yeah, you started before me. I have a 17 and I have an 11.
Okay.
The 11 is like a 21-year-old. She's like bored at home. It's like throwing makeup on all the time and changes her outfits just to like have an outfit change because we're not going anywhere.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's cool. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you so much for sharing your business experience.
Yes.
I have a lot of people here who, think about it and they think about, is it possible for me? Is it possible for me as an OT? Is it possible for me as like what I want to do and that kind of stuff? And whether it be in the hand therapy realm or just in occupational therapy realm,
Right.
in general, I wanted to showcase, people and the people you work with, that it is totally possible. And it's just, you got to break through those mental barriers.
Yep. Mindset's key.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And yeah, reach out if any of you have any questions. Glad to help you. And you guys are all in good hands here. So
Perfect.
I appreciate
Well, I'm going to
it.
include your link. So
Okay.
if you want to do it, they will reach out and be in your good hands.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, thank you.
These hand puns. I love it.
Thank you. Well, have a fabulous day. Thank you.